Cannabis stocks are getting really high right now, and there can be a giant opportunity over the next couple weeks. So looking at some of these stocks like TLRY, SNDL, and CGC, they are flying to the upside. In this video, we're going to explain why these cannabis stocks are finally starting to rise, how I am playing this movement, and what happened with these stocks in the past where they 10x'd over the, like 4 weeks or 5 weeks. So these stocks are crazy, so stick with me today, guys. So we're going to start off by reading the news on why these stocks are booming up. We can see that the House of Representatives intends to vote on a bill to federally legalize cannabis for the second time in history next week. So that's good news. But here's the thing. The House of Representatives can vote on this bill and they can pass it, but it doesn't really mean anything unless the Senate also passes the bill. So it's like, while this news is good, it's not like it's totally game-changing, so keep that in mind. But overall, it is good news, and the process of legalizing cannabis is good for the cannabis industry and cannabis stocks. So looking more specifically at some of these stocks, we have TLRY up around 13% today, and if we look over like the past couple of days, it rose a lot more than 13%. So we can see from March 21st all the way up to the highs of pre-market this morning, the stock is up like 60% in just a couple days, and that's quite a bit. And here's something even more interesting. So these cannabis stocks, for the most part, don't do too well. Like it's been a rough couple of years for these cannabis stocks, to say the least. But check this out. Back in 2018, TLRY went from like $30 up to $300 over the course of like a month. So from like August 2018, like the middle of August 2018 to the middle of September 2018, it literally went from $30 up to $300, and it went crazy. And then ever since then, it just got destroyed. And then they had another nice pop back up in March of 2021. TLRY went from $9 all the way up to highs of $65, and then it just sold off again. And all of the other cannabis stocks kind of have the same pattern. It's like they suck for the most part, but every now and then they just go crazy. And we're kind of seeing them go crazy again. Like, it's pretty rare to see TLRY up 60% in a week, but when these cannabis stocks do move like this, normally it's very explosive. And to be fair, sometimes we see moves up like we had with TLRY back in May of 2021 to like the first couple of weeks in June of 2021, where the stocks moved up, but it wasn't like totally explosive. So I definitely want to be fair in that sense. But the main point right now is we have a ton of people talking about these cannabis stocks, volume slowing in, and the price is rising quickly. If we look at TLRY's volume just over the past couple days, the market is not even closed today. Like, we're like halfway through the trading day, and there were 167 million shares traded on TLRY today. The average volume is like 14 or 15 million per day, just average. And like I said, the market's not even closed today. So it's like, clearly there's a lot of hype with them. And even if we look at some of the other stocks like SNDL, this stock is only trading for like 78 to 79 cents. And it's really, really running up. So if we go to like a 5-day chart, we can see over the past 5 trading days, let me change this really quickly. Over the past like 5 trading days, the stock is up like 70%, which is huge, over 70%. So the stock's really running up, and there's a lot of hype with it, is what I'm trying to say. And I want to go back to I guess you can say the article I just had pulled up, because there's actually a lot of these cannabis stocks that are moving in a big way. TLRY and SNDL are some of the most popular and most explosive ones, but there's a lot of other ones out there like CGC, ACB, CRON, LFLY, GRWG, KERN, AKAN, HUGE, and VFF. They all kind of move together, but like I said, TLRY and SNDL are definitely the most explosive ones. But looking back at SNDL, we can see that while it's moving to the upside, we go back throughout history. Let's say we go back as far as possible. We can see overall it's on a massive downtrend, but every now and then it just like triples or so in a pretty explosive manner. So looking at some of the most important levels with SNDL, 70 cents is a huge support level. It bounced off of this level multiple times in the past. Besides that, there's a little bit more support around 45 cents, but that's pretty far away. In terms of resistance, the stock is at like 78 or 79 cents right now, and the next major resistance level is not to $1. So it's like there's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for a move up there, and then we also have resistance around $1.07. But besides that, there's a lot of leeway with this one, which is good. And I really want to point this out. If you think about some of the most volatile and crazy stocks in the market, you might think of stocks like AMC or Tesla or maybe Nvidia or anything like that. SNDL does not even compare with those stocks in the sense of how volatile it is. So like if we go to AMC, AMC has an implied volatility of 146%. Basically, the higher the implied volatility is, the more volatile and the more crazy the stock is. So like I said, AMC has an implied volatility of 146%. SNDL has an implied volatility of 267%. So when I say this one's volatile, it is extremely, extremely volatile. Like we are going to see crazy moves out of this one. Does that mean it's guaranteed to go up? Absolutely not. Crazy moves can happen both to the upside and the downside. But the reason I bring this up is because don't be surprised if you see SNDL or TLRY or any of these other cannabis stocks go from being up 20% to down 30% to up 50%. Like, these things are crazy. So be prepared for that volatility if you decide to trade them. And let's say we go back to TLRY for a second, because I want to do a quick technical analysis on this one. So TLRY, if we look at like a 180-day 4-hour chart, there is a giant support level right at $5. We can see it bounce off of this level multiple times in the past. There were two big bounces on January 28th of 2022 and then March 15th of 2022. Two giant bounces there. We can also see we made like a high right around like $7.30, right around there on February 14th of 2022, and we broke that high and we made a higher high, which is typically a bullish sign. So looking at the technicals right now, we're bouncing off a major support at $5 and we're making higher highs. This is normally a bullish sign. But looking at resistance, we have a giant level right at $10. $10 is very important. We can see TLRY in the past used $10 as a support level, and it's a big one, so keep that in mind. But here's the good thing though. While TLRY is at $7.82, the next major resistance isn't until $10. So we have some wiggle room there, and if we zoom in, there's a ton of volume coming in, which is big. So keep that in mind. If we break above $10 on TLRY, the next resistance is right around 13 and then right around 15. So keep those levels in mind. But like I said, there's a lot of volume flowing in with these ones. In the past, when these stocks moved up, they really, really moved up. Like I said, TLRY went from like $30 up to $300 over the course of like a month. But keep in mind, that's a rare event. That does not mean that's going to happen this time. I do have a small position in TLRY call options. So I have a small position. Like, it's small. So take that however you want. But I definitely do want to say that trading any one of these cannabis stocks right now, whether it's TLRY, SNDL, CGC, or any other one, is the equivalent of going to the casino. It is a complete gamble, and it's very risky. There's a chance that these stocks can 10x over the next couple months, but there's also a really good chance that they just fail and lose over half their value over the course of a couple weeks. So when I say they're risky, they are like some of the most risky stocks on the market out there, but then again, sometimes you see giant moves. So trade them however you want. Just be careful is all I'm saying. They're risky. There's a lot of hype building up with them now, so keep that in mind. It's a total coin flip, but either way, the news about the House, making I guess you can say, progress in legalizing cannabis is good for cannabis stocks. And if we see more updates or more optimistic news articles or things like that, that can bring in more buying pressure and, of course, take the stocks higher. So either way, a lot of people are talking about them right now. Feel free to take a look at these stocks. And I'm very curious, guys. Let me know what you think about these cannabis stocks. Do you guys think they're going to be good long-term plays, or are you just looking at them for like a quick in and out, I guess you can say, short-term play? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. I post brand new videos every single day. Besides that, have a great weekend.